Hey, welcome back to another episode of Turok the Dinosaur Hunter. We're going to get started with level 2 in episode 2, which is here, the jungle. So, this one's going to be pretty similar to the first level. I think this is when they start dropping the number of keys down. Yeah, so now it's just, instead of like, the first level's got 6 keys in it. All of them except level 8 has like 3 keys and a chronoceptor piece. But as I was saying, you know, this level looks pretty much the same as the previous level did. Nothing really amazing or spectacular about it. There's just a shotgun up there, so kind of wasting my time because I'm topped off. The little boars and the deers running around, if you hit them, you know, with the knife or with the gun or anything, they drop health. But I don't need it, so I'm not gonna, like, you know, I'm here to hunt dinosaurs. I'm not here to hunt deers and boars. Turok got so good at hunting that, like, he's bored of hunting boars. You know, they're not dangerous enough. They're dangerous, but they're not dangerous enough. We gotta be on the lookout so we can try and get some stegosauruses, because I want to make some stegosaurus socks. Because, you know, they're really nifty. And nobody else has a pair of stegosaurus socks, so I want to be, you know, the guy who has those and be the talk of the town. Basically, if you come over here, you just can get some more of these Triforce pieces. I didn't explain it, but every 100 you get a life. I think you can have 9 lives at one time. If you get 9 lives in one playthrough, you unlock the ability to toggle the infinite life cheat, which I don't intend on using that. But unlike the first level, this is where some of the keys and some of the items are actually going to be hidden away. Like, they're not all going to be just out in the open like they were in the first level. In fact, it's the first key in this level is actually very easy to walk past. I think actually both the first and the second one. First one's right in this area. Ow, who hit me? So if you come over here, take a nice little swim to where this tree is. There's a cave. And basically, if you just keep going to the right, it'll take you where you need to go. It's like that old, like, when you're lost in a maze, if you just put your right hand on the right wall or left hand on the left wall and keep going in that direction, you'll make it out. It's the same thing with that and with most of the levels. But something I didn't mention in the first level, there's actually an entire part on the N64, or the entire part on this port, which I think this is the port for the computer. There was like an entire port. I guess I can't get that, yeah. Entire part that is not in the N64 version, and it actually pertains to the key. I think it's the second key. You actually have to climb up some vines that are tucked away somewhere, where in this one you just walk right into like a clearing and there's like that little temple. That is not in the N64 version. But, yeah, so I forgot to mention that while I was there, but, yeah, it's hidden away. Another Perlin. Do I need to fight this guy? You gotta watch out when you take out those purlins. I'll take them out. Why not? You gotta watch out because if they're running like that, maybe I can show it. No, he decided to die in place. If they're running at you and you ace them out, they will keep like they'll keep going and crash right into you and do like 20 damage if I remember correctly. So you have to be pretty careful because that's a good way to, you know, lose health. I'm not going to go back up there for a Triforce piece, but I don't want that guy sniping me. I guess I got enough of those. Explosive rounds. And we're about to come up to our first campaigner soldier. This guy. These guys do a lot of damage and they take a lot of hits unless you just blow them up. The campaigner soldier is well, the campaigner is the name of the final boss who's actually like waging war. He wants the Chronoceptor piece so he can take over the universe. And the campaigner soldiers, at least at this point in the game, are supposed to be the elite, you know? They're like the Halo elites, basically. They do a lot of damage and take a lot of hits. But they don't sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger, so, you know, they're not as cool. And I think we're about to come up to... See that? If he runs into you doing that, like, you know, you take damage. And he just fell off a cliff. Took care of himself. But we're coming up on the second key. Well, actually, no, we're not coming up with the second key. We're coming up on the Chronoceptor piece. So what you want to do is you want to take a left here and climb up these vines. You're going to get shot at, I think, by some guy on a ledge. Maybe not. We'll see. But it's a pretty tall, you know, climb. Turok's getting his, like, cardio in. And there's a little temple up here. It's actually not up here at this temple. Like, it's very easy to miss it if you don't pay attention. Get rid of the peanut gallery here so that we can actually, like, you know. So you see those trees and that guy? Again, there we go. Shooting the ground. So you want to jump there first. And then you want to see those ledges. You want to jump over here. Or you can just jump down here, but like I could see the ledge easier. And there's the Chronoceptor piece. Oh, who shot me? Which one of you shot me? Oh, it's campaigner soldier. He has, like, I think my second favorite gun in the game, the plasma rifle. We won't get that until the end of level 3. When we have to fight Mick Dundee. But, so the way the boss... It's weird in this game, like, you know, usually when they have bosses in a game, they're, like, equally spaced, you know, like... So the first boss is at the end of level 3 in this game, and then the end of level 5, and not the end of level 6. I don't know why they didn't do that. And then they have, like, technically 2... There's like 2 final bosses because there are 2 boss fights right at the end. So there's that next key. And if you don't jump down here, you can't get to the key. So it's very easy to walk past it. Like I said, the first 2 keys in this like level, if you don't look around, very easy to like miss them. But, you know, is what it is. Long jump. So, I guess I could have done the training to show, but especially in the N64 version, like if you run at an angle like this and jump, you actually do a longer jump than you do if you just run straight forward and jump. Like, I don't know why it was programmed that way, because it's already tough enough to platform in a first-person shooter. But, you know, hey, it just adds to the challenge, I guess. Alright. Take that. And, right here, like, the rocks just fall. It's really funny if you don't have the fog and the extended draw distance. You don't have the fog turned on and the extended draw distance turned off. You can actually see the rocks in the sky. And it kind of looks a little goofy. Watch out, you got a leg trap there. Some people were watching First Blood and thought that would be funny to set one up. First Blood's a really good movie. The book is really good too, but it's an example of like an adaptation of a movie that like is way different from the book, and nobody complains about it. Mainly because like they both tackle the same subject matter about like, you know, post-traumatic stress and being like a combat soldier. But like they tackle them in different ways. And the book kind of takes a bit of a sympathetic look at it, but the movie is like, the book is not super sympathetic. It just makes more of a commentary on this idea of like, you can't train somebody to be a combat soldier and then have them, you know, fight in a war for 3 years and then come back and be like perfectly normal. And then the movie kind of takes like the long-term effects of it and the sympathetic look of like the whole thing. This is the auto shotgun. There it is. I was like, isn't there a Perlin over here? So it's, you know, that's what it, so this is the regular shotgun. And that's the auto shotgun. So if you're not careful, you can burn through all your ammunition fast. And you want to save some explosive rounds, you know, for this part, because I'll show you in a second. I'm not quite there. It doesn't work in the N64 version for some reason, but I'll show you in a second. This one kind of makes it a useless secret, actually, in the N64 version because of how long it takes to get an explosive outside of the explosive rounds. Let's see. I don't think even if I jumped at that, is that full health or ultra health? It's death. That's what it is. It's death. So we go back to the last checkpoint. That's fine. Yeah, just don't think just because you're in a bonus room that like you're spared from death pits. It's kind of the thing about, you know, this game is like it's a first-person shooter and there's a lot of platforming in it, and it's kind of like, you know, can't really line up your jumps super well, but at least the controls are more manageable on the PS5 than they are the N64. Alright. So this is what I was talking about, like, being careful because the leapers will gang up on you like that. Because they're pretty relentless. But you want to save some explosive shells. For that right there. Where's it at? I want to take it out first. Where are you at? Alright. There you are. So you want to save them for this so you can blow those away. That doesn't work in the N64 one, like I said. But this is my favorite weapon in the game, the minigun. It's not the strongest weapon, but man, is it fun. It's fun to get unlimited ammo, the unlimited ammo cheat on and just like play it with it because like it's just fun. We gotta jump down here. I think there's a secret right here. I mean, it's not really a secret, but you know, it's hidden. Hidden well enough to be a secret, I suppose. I guess this episode's going to be kind of short like the first one, because we're pretty much at the end right now. I'm going to save the rest of that ammo. It's like I said, it's my favorite. The only weapon you can use underwater is the knife. Makes sense. Can't, you know, couldn't really fire a gun underwater. It's probably going to be the same bonus room. Each level has like 2 different bonus rooms, and they will, you know, go back and forth between the 2 as to like which is which. I'm actually not going to kill that Perlin. It's going to be a waste of ammo. Oh dear. I can just go. But you don't want to go through there yet. You want to come over here because we caught a glimpse of it before we went into the cave. But the key is right here, the last key. And that should be everything. All keys, Chronoscepter piece. That's it. This level's done and dusted. This one might also only be sub 20 minutes, but that's okay. I like to keep them around 20-25 minutes. This will show you what you have and haven't gotten. Otherwise, they're going to be grayed out like that. But later levels are probably going to take more time, especially like level 7 and 8, maybe even 6. But I'll go ahead and call it here because it's like, you know, like I said, finish the level. I appreciate you watching. If you made it to this point in the video, I really, really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.